Ethel Kennedy.
Yeah.
A woman who, well, she lived a life most of us can only imagine, right?
Absolutely.
Recently passed away at 96.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, we often hear her name mentioned, obviously alongside Robert F. Kennedy. But how much do we really know about Ethel? About the woman behind the scenes? You've brought us an article from the Daily Beast that promises to take us beyond those well-known narratives. So let's dive in. Let's uncover the Ethel Kennedy, well, the Ethel Kennedy few really knew.
Yeah, it's so easy for individuals, and I think especially women, to be overshadowed, right? Within powerful families and historical moments.
Yeah.
And I think this deep dive is a great chance for us to bring her individuality into the light.
It really is.
Yeah.
And this article, I have to say, wasted no time in grabbing my attention.
Oh.
They start by describing Ethel causing, get this, disorder in the tea room
Oh, my.
during her college years. At Manhattanville, no less,
Wow. Okay.
with her friend, Jean Kennedy.
Oh, right.
And get this, the Demerit book mysteriously vanished.
Oh.
That story alone, I think, hints at a playful rebelliousness.
Right.
A far cry from that, reserved image we often associate with political wives. What struck you about that?
You know, those details, they seem small, but they reveal a lot about her character, don't they? I mean, imagine needing that kind of spirit to hold your own alongside the Kennedy clan.
Right.
This wasn't just someone content to blend in.
No.
This was a woman who lived life on her own terms.
Absolutely. And this wasn't a woman who shied away from a challenge either.
No.
The article mentions how she challenged Bobby to a downhill ski race when they first met.
Oh, wow.
A competitive streak and a love for adventure. Are you surprised?
Not one bit. You know, growing up as one of 7 children in a family where her father made his fortune in the coal industry, that requires a certain tenacity.
Yeah.
To not only survive, but to thrive in that environment. I think that suggests an inner strength that would really define her later years.
It really does. And it wasn't just skiing and sibling rivalry. She was known for her athleticism, a deep love for the outdoors, and a real knack for bringing people together.
Yeah.
Looking back, you almost wonder if those qualities were preparing her for the world of politics, even if she didn't know it yet.
What's fascinating is how these seemingly disparate aspects of her personality, her mischievous side, her love of adventure, her ability to connect with people, it all came together to make her such a force in the political arena.
Okay, so let's unpack that. How did those qualities translate into political strengths when she became Robert F. Kennedy's wife?
Well, I think when you think about it, politics requires such a unique blend of charisma, of resilience, a genuine ability to connect with people from all walks of life, right? And these weren't just political tactics for Ethel, these were ingrained in her personality.
Yeah, and the article, it really paints her as the heart of RFK's campaigns. They mention, for example, how she sat through almost all of his Senate hearings,
Wow.
often with a baby or two in tow.
Oh my gosh.
And even though she had a fear of flying, she campaigned tirelessly by his side.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dedication.
Yeah, it went beyond dedication, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It highlights her natural gift for campaigning. Like, she could remember names, make people feel heard. And her warmth, it was disarming. Even Kathleen Kennedy, her own daughter, called her the best campaigner I've ever seen.
Wow.
Coming from a Kennedy, that's quite an endorsement.
It really is. That speaks volumes about her political instincts, right?
Yeah.
Because you can be a charismatic person, but Ethel clearly possessed a sharp mind for strategy
Absolutely.
and policy. She understood how to connect with people on a personal level while also championing the causes that she believed in alongside RFK. I mean, it makes you wonder, how might history have unfolded if she had pursued a more prominent political role herself?
A question for the ages. But even behind the scenes, her impact was undeniable. Yet, amidst this whirlwind of politics, she and Bobby created a lively home life. At Hickory Hill, 11 children, can you imagine?
11 children. That's a lot of energy.
That is a lot.
The article describes it as more than just a bustling household. They had a menagerie of animals.
Oh my God.
Horses, rabbits, pigeons, even a pet sea lion named Sandy.
What?
A sea lion.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's a handful.
Right. But it's this side of Ethel we rarely hear about. This down-to-earth woman who wasn't afraid to get her hands dirty, whether it was wrangling children or apparently evicting a sea lion from the pool.
Yeah.
These glimpses into her life reveal, I think, a warmth and a humor that humanize the Kennedy legacy,
Absolutely.
It reminds us that behind the political dynasties and the historical figures, there are real people with a love for family, a sense of adventure, and yes, even a mischievous streak.
Hmm.
But as we know, tragedy cast a long shadow over Ethel's life. The assassination of Robert Kennedy on June 5, 1968, is a moment seared into our collective memory. The article doesn't dwell on this, but the unimaginable grief she must have experienced is, well, it's palpable.
Yeah. It's a testament to her strength that in the face of such immense loss, she continued to move forward. The Ethel we see in this article, she didn't shy away from pain, but she refused to let it break her. And she poured her energy into her family and the causes she and Bobby so passionately shared.
That resilience, it's truly remarkable.
It is.
And, it's even more heartbreaking when you think about the other tragedies that she endured.
Yeah.
Losing 3 of her children.
Yeah.
And then a grandchild. It's a depth of sorrow most of us can't even fathom.
And yet she persevered. And I think that's what the article really highlights, right? It's this incredible duality of a woman who experienced unimaginable heartbreak, but who possessed this deep well of strength and this commitment to creating a better world.
And she didn't just, talk the talk. This article doesn't shy away from her activism. She was on the front lines marching with Cesar Chavez, advocating for farm workers' rights. She visited Native American activists during the occupation of Alcatraz, shining a light on their struggle for justice.
This wasn't just celebrity activism either.
No.
You remember that story about her driving her teenage kids to an anti-apartheid protest?
Oh, yeah.
And she was proud when they got arrested.
Wow.
Like this commitment to social justice, it was woven into the fabric of her being.
Yeah.
Long before and long after RFK's assassination.
It's incredible. It really puts her work with the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization into perspective.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't just about carrying on her husband's legacy. It was about amplifying a cause that has always been close to her heart.
Absolutely. She traveled the world, speaking out against human rights abuses wherever she saw them. This wasn't about politics. It was about this unwavering belief in the inherent dignity of every human being.
It strikes me that Ethel Kennedy, she really defied easy categorization.
Yeah.
She was playful, yet fiercely loyal, heartbroken, yet unyielding in her commitment to justice. She was a mother of 11, a political force, and this relentless advocate for those who couldn't fight for themselves. It's inspiring, to say the least.
I think her life really invites us to look beyond the surface, to recognize the quiet strength of a woman who refused to be defined solely by her last name or the tragedies she endured. Ethel Kennedy's legacy reminds us that even amidst, unimaginable loss, one person's courage and compassion can truly change the world.
Absolutely. And you know what? This deep dive into Ethel Kennedy's life has been, it's been eye-opening. And I have a feeling this is just the tip of the iceberg.
I think you're right. I think if her story resonated with you at all, I encourage you to, delve a little deeper into the causes that she championed, explore the work of the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Organization, learn about the individuals and the movements that she supported. And I think you might find, as we have today, that Ethel Kennedy's life, much like her legacy, has much to teach us about resilience, about compassion, and about the power of one person to make a difference.